While I'm at it, let me try to throw a question at you. Should a 6-6 team even be played on New Year's? But more importantly, should an 8-5 team be even playing in the BCS, or in a BCS bowl game? Now I know this year apparently is the last year of the same of this traditional BCS format before we go into the 14 playoff mode, which is going to use basically 3 stadiums, if you will. I'm assuming, I'm not sure. But I ask you, should they? I mean, yesterday the Heart of Dallas Bowl, which is essentially along with sometimes the Gator Bowl or the Capital One Bowl, the Outback Bowl, is usually one of the first games to start off on New Year's. But should 6-6 team be there? I'm just asking. I know you're thinking, well, it wasn't Mississippi State. I don't know. I don't know the records, honestly. But I do know when Purdue stuck out to me, I'm thinking, Purdue? 6-6 and they're playing on New Year's? Doesn't make sense. So, and especially the way they got trashed, if you will. I mean, the other games, they were pretty close. In a sense, they were pretty close. But this one was the only blowout of the day. Well, probably besides the Orange Bowl, but the Orange Bowl wasn't even that bad. But again, like I'm saying, this was probably the only one that was a complete wipeout. And, and people complain about Northern Illinois being in the Orange Bowl. Well, at least Northern Illinois didn't get blown out the way Purdue did. So it makes me wonder, should a 6-6 team be playing on New Year's? I mean, yes, we've seen it before, but sometimes we've seen either blowouts, and I will admit there have been occasions where they've been close, but most of the time it's been nothing but a blowout from what I can remember. I mean, yeah, like I said, there have been a few times where it's been occasionally close in scoring, but still, it makes one wonder, should a 6-6 team be there? I mean, I can understand they'll be bowl eligible, they'll go to a bowl, but more so, you should let them go to a bowl game that's not on New Year's, because the way I look at it, call me old school, call me traditional, New Year's Day bowl games are meant for those that have at least 8 to 9 wins, mostly 9 wins. At least 8 and 9 wins, more of a 8-4 record kind of deal, or 9-3 record, or 9-4 record, whatever you want to call it. More traditionally meant for that, especially if it's a non-BCS New Year's Day game. But I'm just curious, I ask you guys, anybody that's a sports enthusiast, do you think that should, you think 6-6 should even be on New Year's? And speaking of BCS, let's talk about something else. I know a lot of people, like I said, were upset with the fact that Northern Illinois got in and faced Florida State. But let me ask you this: do you think, in all honesty, that Wisconsin, even though they gave Stanford a good game, at 8-5 should have even gotten into the Rose Bowl? I mean, this is one of the things I'm glad they're changing up next year with this playoff system. Even though it's going to take up a few bowl games, or take up a few bowl sites or bowl games, but still, does it make sense to let an unranked 8-5 team get in there? Doesn't to me. I mean, yeah, let them win the conference championship. That's fine. But give them a bowl game that's like, hey, look, you're a champion, and this requires a champion. Or like, you're a conference champion, and this bowl game requires a conference champion. Here you go. And then let somebody else slide in there. one of the non-major BCS teams should have slid in there. But who could have slid in there? What teams could have been better off? Huh? What other teams had a more decent record? Oh, I don't know. Utah State. Let's see. Who else? I don't know. Boise. I'm just naming some off the top of my head. Tulsa, maybe. I'm just saying. You could have slid them in there and said, hey, you guys may not be a BCS team, and yeah, we'll make an exception and all that. They could have made exceptions, but they didn't. And that's why I'm glad they're kind of changing it up a little bit, even though I don't like the fact that you're using some bowl sites, some bowl games, as playoff sites. I really don't like that. Unless you're going to make them the champions of the bowl game and then have them advance on. But that's another story. But again, I pose the question to you. Do you think a 6-6 team should play on New Year's Day? And do you think an 8-5 team should even play in a BCS? Let me know what you guys think. I mean, I know you say, well, there were circumstances. Ohio State was banned. Yeah, they were banned. I get that. But still, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree that even if they had won the conference, that they should have been in another bowl game that required a conference champion, and had that conference champion, who probably had a better record and was ranked, to go to the Rose Bowl? Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. Video responses are greatly appreciated. And I'll talk to you later. But let me know what you guys think.